Alright guys, let's do lesson 8. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Since you guys are not liking just the subscribe button, let's go.
Is that they can also send back data. They don't need to just simply accept data and do stuff with it and output it to the screen as we've done here. They can also take data, do stuff with the data, operate on that data, and send back something after the operation is complete. Now we can modify this function add numbers to do that. Now the first thing we're going to do is to delete this line.
Dang, all that hard work for nothing. The first things we are going to do to delete the line.
Alright, and then we're going to replace it with this word here, the keyword return. Now the return means send back. This function sends back something. What will it send back? It will send back num1 plus num2.
Okay, it will send back num1 space, okay, shift plus num2.
Okay, so what does this mean? This means when you call this function add numbers 10, 7, this function is called. 10 is allocated to num1 and 7 is allocated to num2, and then the function adds num1 and 2, it adds 10 plus 7, and then it returns the value back to the caller. So it sends the value back. It doesn't do anything with this value. It just sends it back. So now if you run this code, even though we're calling the function, you'll see that it does nothing. Let's try it out.
Okay,
refresh.
Control S. Oh my word, and then I closed it. Let's go to our document. It's just gonna be quick. It's functions, right? Yeah, you see it does nothing.
And as expected, it does absolutely nothing. So what do we do? How do we make this value actually display on the screen? Simple. We need to add the display somewhere else. So let's put it up here. Now see what I'm doing. Notice that I am actually...
Okay, we are adding the display somewhere around here. So he said document full stop.
Adding to this line of text.
Okay.
Document.get element by
ID. Okay. Wait, what happened? Okay, Control Z. It was add numbers, ne? Let's just give it a space. Document full stop get element by ID. This is what we want. And then when we have this shift, let's have our own brackets, and then let's do this. He added addition
dot.
Okay, and then now we are going to remove the space right here and put dot in HTML. Yeah, but that's the thing I don't like. Control Z, it replaces it. Let's say space, and then select inner HTML.
add numbers.
Space equal.
Okay, so what did I just do?
There must be space
this takes a bit
between
of
the
explanation.
equal.
I've called
Control.
the basic
Control
JavaScript to add some text into our paragraph. Now what text am I adding? I'm adding the function. This looks weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Instead of adding a value in double quotes or a number, I'm adding a function as the output of this paragraph. Now this is perfectly fine. This is perfectly legal in JavaScript. What this is going to do is, it's not going to output the function, it's not going to output this text, it's not going to output the text of the function, it's going to output the result of this function. So JavaScript is going to call this function, pass it 10 and 7, and then the function is going to receive the 10 and 7, add them up, as we are seeing here, num1 plus num2, and then that sum will be obviously 17, and it will return 17. So that means the function will substitute 17 in there. And then what happens is, when you ask JavaScript to change the text, the inner HTML of this paragraph, to set it to 17, then that's what will be displayed inside there. Let's test this out.
Okay.
Back in the browser, refresh, and there we have a 17.
Magic.
Let's change the numbers.
Okay, let's change the numbers.
10 plus 20, refresh, and we've got
10
30.
plus 20.
Awesome. So let's go over this one more time.
Control Z. Ish, this guy is fast. Wait, we are making mistakes here, my guy. Relax, relax, relax. However, what happened? What happened to my cursor? What did I press? What did I... Okay, wait, guys. Control S. I pressed something. I'll fix it after this, don't worry.
Code, you are setting the
we got
inner HTML of this paragraph addition to whatever is the return value of this function. So you're calling the function, you're sending it two numbers.
Okay, I pressed insert.
The function is operating on those two numbers by adding them up as we had instructed it, and then it returns the value. It returns the sum of those two functions right back there, and then this is what's displayed into our paragraph. So now you've learned that functions can take data and they can send back data. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you can put functions where you're supposed to put actual data. So in this line, where we are adding text to the paragraph, instead of putting a number or a string of text, we put in a function. But remember, it's not the function that's going to be displayed, it's the result of the function, which is the sum of these two numbers.
Alright, that's it for lesson 8, guys. I'll see you on a lesson 9. Let's get it.